feel like Pitt's been playing, really well. They've had heartbreakers in every game they've played in the league, and tonight was no different. Thought our guys made some plays down the stretch to seal the win. So move on, get ready for Florida State.
Chris, what did you see from L? What was he doing to get going the way he got going?
Just thought he had an energy about him all day. At the press conference, or not the press conference, I'm sorry, the shoot around. He was bouncy. He was excited to play. I sat down with him and had about an hour discussion earlier in the day and just said that, he has to do some things better, to sort of earn some playing time and earn some trust from the coaching staff. And told him he could take it one of two ways. But I also told him that our coaching staff and me in particular believe in him a whole lot. And so to never get lost, don't ever let that, fact get lost. Because I think sometimes when you don't play, you feel like the coach doesn't appreciate you as a player. It doesn't think that you can do it in certain situations. And I said that's not the case. You played 3 ACC games. I understand you want to play more. It's hard for the first time in his career. He hasn't, played 30 minutes a game. And I said you just have to make the most of your time. You got to be way better defensively, and then you got to make really good decisions on the offensive end. We know he's explosive and he can score, but he's been errant in some other ways, and he recognized that. It was really good to see. I'm happy for him. He really juiced our team in the second half.
If he can straighten out the things that you're talking about, how valuable could it be just to have a guy who can get into the middle of the floor like that?
It's not even just get in the middle of the floor. He's a fantastic finisher for his size. We're going to play bigger and bigger teams, and Pittsburgh's long almost at every position, and their center's, a wide-bodied guy that's got a great IQ. And so, L getting in there, a lot of guys can maybe get in there, but they don't have the ability when they're L's size to finish. He can really finish. And then he made some really good passes out. I think that he's learned, and again, he's not perfect, but he's learned to land in the lane when there's not necessarily a play on the run. He had those charges at the beginning of the year. I think those have lessened. And, he hit a little fade shot tonight when he landed in the lane. He sprayed out a few threes to some teammates. He got better tonight.
One more and I'll shut up. Let me rephrase that just a little bit. A guy who can beat a guy off the dribble, just go get something for himself or somebody else by himself.
Yeah, it's not a strength of our team, as you know. I think our guys are moving it and playing well together and trying to share the ball. But certainly L is really good at that, and it's definitely needed.
Chris, what did Sid give you down low tonight? It looked like he earned some solid minutes and was able to body up Hughley down low a little bit late.
Sid did a terrific job. Sid, I told our team in the locker room, maybe more than any guy, has really responded exactly how you'd want as a coach in practice. He's never hung his head. He's competed really hard. He's tried to learn, quicker. He comes in earlier. He's a guy you root for. And he's so strong. He's learning the game from a defensive standpoint. But I thought his effort on Hughley, who's a tough matchup for any team, fronting him, blocking him out, contesting his shot. And then he had some finishes around the basket. So, really happy for Sid. Couldn't happen to a better guy.
Chris, have you ever been a part of a game where you see so many technicals? If it was a stranger looking at the press box or the box score, they might think there were some crazy elbows, hard fouls. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Yeah, the Xavier UC game years ago. But there were a lot of elbows and swinging and stuff like that. So, no, I haven't seen it before that I can recollect.
Chris, this is 4-0 in the ACC and several very close games. What do you draw from that? Do you find your team growing in tough situations?
I hope so. We just have to continue to look through the windshield, not the rearview mirror. We just have to press forward. We know we got a huge challenge on Saturday. We feel like every time you win a game in this league, regardless of what people say, it's difficult. And so, we've played 4 games where 20% of our league is finished, at least if we get to play all our games this year. And no bigger challenge than going to Florida State, where we haven't had any success since I've been the head coach.
Do you see growth, by the guys in late situations?
in late situations against zone defense. I mean, I go back to the Western game, and we've had way better purpose against Georgia Tech and Pitt when they changed defenses. We haven't always made the shot, but we've executed. You know, there were a couple times where we got layups with 2 or 1 second on the shot clock against the zone. It's not easy to do. And so, yeah, I think there's been a lot of growth, made by our team and certainly a few individuals.
Chris, what do you think has clicked for Sam in the last 3 games?
Well, I think it's fair to say that he's gotten more opportunity. You know, he's probably feels a little bit calmer on the floor. He feels a little bit looser when he has the opportunity to play through mistakes. And that's not why he necessarily got pulled. He just he's playing better. He's playing better, and he's playing with a lot of confidence. The teams that play zone, he's really good in the mid-range, and he's a good passer. His defense off the ball is exactly where he needs to be. And, sometimes on the ball isn't the easiest thing in the world for him, but he's come light years since he was a freshman. So there's been a lot of trust that's been earned with him being on the floor on both ends. And so I'm really happy for Sam. As I said, he's in the gym a lot. It means a lot to him.
Other questions, anyone?
Was there anything about the matchup today that gave Al the big difference in his production in one point in the last 2 games?
Well, I don't know if there was anything about the matchup. They have really good guards. They have long guards. Sometimes when it's 6'5", it's maybe harder to keep a guy that's 6'2" with a lot of quickness in front. But they were, some of his scoring came against the zone. Some of it came off the ball, on the ball. So I don't think that Pitt overlooked him. I thought El just was excited to play and played well. He's a good player, and he played with a lot of confidence tonight.
Chris, I know you're right out of this one, but you mentioned Florida State. I think they're taller than anybody in the country, and they press more than anybody in the country. So what kind of challenge is that, and how different is it from anything else you've seen?
I don't know. I haven't really watched them a whole lot, Brett. They're that way every year. Just a few new players, but I don't take any stock in some of the games they haven't won. I know who they're going to be, and I'm sure they're going to be foaming at the mouth on Saturday, and so we've got to be ready for that first punch.
Chris, not to harp on the text, I know we asked about him, but it looked like Malik and Huey were kind of talking back and forth early, and then some of them get called later on the bench. What really happened there in that situation late?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the referees didn't want to allow whatever talking was going on. That's my fault at the very end. I could be way better than that, and I told our team that. But I was frustrated. But, we'll move on, and glad it didn't cost my team a win. I'd have been in a much different place if that would have happened. So, there's a lot of things in life you learn from, you grow from. So, Malik should have handled it better. I should have handled it better. Maybe another party could have handled it better. Thanks.